So second cup of the day in a row in which I absolutely suck. So let's just watch others. No, I really did not know what to do in this one. Like, I'm completely out of my depth on this map. So maybe it's better if I just watch. First, let's just watch someone who knows what he's doing. Just to see the best possible lines. So he goes for the lowest jump there. Like, kinda risky, but okay, I respect that. Now this is where I really don't know what to do. He jumps like that. Okay. Ah, but that was terrible apparently. And he wants to finish on the top of the tube. Alright. So I think we gotta watch, let's say, Riolu. Just to see what to do in the dirt exit, because that was killing me the most. So one more round of this. Let's hope Riolu can do it again. And then I'm gonna follow whoever is in danger of going out. I mean, Riolu is probably gonna do everything else pretty well. So this looks like one of those maps he could win. There is some dirt involved, and he clearly knows what to do in the end. Here, obviously, you wanna keep the gear. Like, there's a massive difference between dropping the gear and keeping it. So, up until this point, I completely understand all of the lines. Goes for some wiggles. I see. Then enters from there. Alright. It looks very nice. I think he goes for a little SD there on the dirt. Enters with a small drift and then tries to cancel it as soon as possible. While trying to stay as low as possible as well. Then aligns it for the tube line which ends on the roof of the tube. So it all makes sense. I should have known that myself, but here we are. Now let's check out who is dropping down now, because I think already two players made mistakes. Solo, Rev, Matt is really slow, same as Paul. Oh, so many mistakes here in the start. Players already 2 seconds behind and they're still in. Let's see. The scoreboard is having a stroke at the minute. So it's really hard to tell who's where. I think Matt is in 41st. So Matt should be in the last position, which gets you KO'd right now. Matt fighting here with Jaja and Solo. Matt going for a completely different line. I'm not sure if this is better, but it's clearly working out for him. He should be good right now. Frev, I think, is surely going out, but it's really hard to tell. I like how everything just calmed down once they crossed the finish line. But interesting map, even though I was really bad on it. Well, let's go with the Dorian Raid, the new member of Team ProServe. He is also playing with this car skin. What a G. Fortunately makes the mistake just as I'm spectating him, and he is in last at the moment. If we can trust the scoreboard. Oh, Matt, what the hell is that line? So Matt doesn't get heavily punished for it, but he is still in danger. You know, Dorian manages to catch up to a couple of players, even overtakes him. So he is still in a good position as he overtakes Richie there as well. Also going for that Matt line there, which I believe is slightly slower, but he should be fine as long as he can just pull off the end well. He's struggling a lot and he's out. See, he didn't get a full grip in the end. Like, he was flying, lost so much time. and ends in 37th. Feels like a jinx. Should have just left him alone. Oh, here's another teammate of mine. Let's see if I can jinx him as well. Oh, oh, he's doing well. Think he... Oh my... Someone is completely dead. Who needed to respawn to the previous CP? Whoa, wait. Cannot find him because of the scoreboard. Surely it's Thomas Jean, maybe? Anyway, let's say I go back to Marius, who is supposedly in the hot seat right now. He needs to overtake just one player. Raquette has no speed, so this should be job done for Marius here. As long as he can just close it out in the finish line. Or gets the full grip. That's a good end by Marius. This map is quite heavy scenery-wise, so that's a possible explanation as to why the scoreboard is having so many issues. I think the servers are working overtime at this moment. Yeah, let's go with that one. And this is a really sick car skin. One of the TM Grand League car skins. It looks so nice. There's a couple of other versions available, so feel free to check them out. All of them are just as good as this one, I would say. So Avon is doing really well, thinking we can leave him alone. Focus on who's in trouble here. Looks like Kavi is doing quite well. He is overtaking a couple of people, so... Now spectating Solo, but just look at how close this is, and Solo almost makes the same mistake I made. But does get the acceleration penalty, and let's see his end. Not the best, but just good enough to stay in front of Funny Raceman. So Asian does go out, but one round later than when I watched him. So I take zero responsibility for that. Yeah, next round. Let's... What? That was a weird one. Maybe his game froze and he just had a late start. Alright, never mind. Forget Wawa is out. The Flex boss most likely out as well. So 2 more spots need to be filled. Right now it's looking like Matt is gonna be the one. Because Matt is always really far behind in the starts. We've seen just how weird his line is there. But he always starts catching up here. So he's got Energize and he's got Exxon. So this is the battle we gotta focus on. Exxon needs to make something happen in the end. And he gets Matt. Because he gets the roof line there. Matt unfortunately doesn't. And Matt's poor start finally comes back to bite him. Top 23 right now. Let's go with... Yeah, let's stay on board with Mika. I haven't seen him in danger in any of the rounds so far, so he seems to be just doing very steady, always somewhere in the middle of the pack. Gets a nice start here, not the best, not the worst, so he's looking pretty good in this round as well, with the usual suspects Evon and Loudest in front. Marius kind of struggling yet again, but it's expected at this point that if you're almost a second behind, you are gonna be in trouble. So Marius has some work to do in the end, as do all of these people here. It looks like there is a gap. However, Hugo has made a mistake, allows Taurus to come back in, and Riolo with a mistake as well. Could this be the end for Riolo, maybe? Booney is coming in hot and spicy. It's all about the end. Riolo dies because of that mistake. Also, Hugo managed to save himself. Got really lucky there with both Legu and Riolu. losing so much speed, and I'm pretty sure they did the same thing I did. If you wanna go low, sometimes you gotta pay the price. So let's see what Link is doing. The Link also hasn't really been struggling. Maybe I've missed it, but I think he's been doing very well, been very steady up until this point apparently. As he gets a bit of a bad start here, but there's still 3 players behind him, so he is good. Manages to overtake so many people there, and it's back to Taurus now, who is in 16th. This is the last round with 4 KOs. Let's see who is gonna get knocked out here. Taurus making some good progress there. Again, it's Booney in trouble. Needs just one position. Booney trying to make something happen, and he does. It's Lauzix, or Luzix, and Link. Oh, I've missed Link making a mistake. So unfortunately, this is the end for Link. Just after I've praised him for doing well. That's how it is apparently. Let's see if a Nod can avoid the curse. I think I've seen Nod get really nice starts. Like, he's always in and around the top positions right after the start, and yet again he does the same. And he's going really tight to the walls there. Goes for the correct angles and gets the proper start yet again. You can see the different lines there. Some people going wide. I don't think you really need to. Like, the tight line is completely enough just to keep the gear. So Darker is far behind. Mika has also made a mistake, so at this point he is relying on someone else clipping here. Looks like that is not gonna happen. Now, unless someone makes a complete mess of that end. Should be the end. Oh, someone there with Turbo. Oh my word. So Turbo gets stuck in the tube. And that's the end for Turbo, and another life for Mika. And just imagine if he got that entry, like, he would have been safe. He would have most likely been safe with that, but he came to a full stopping, and there was no way to come back from that. Ixon is still in, and I feel like he's in orange or in yellow every single round. Sometimes that is exactly what needs to happen to you, just to keep you on your toes. And we see another one of those mistakes. Like, those always look so funny, man. Looks like that was Taurus, and Taurus is completely out of this one. After being launched to the moon by the CP, Taurus is coming to an end in this cup of the day. Not also with a massive mistake, so yet again, as I said, Exxon is in, but he's not making any big mistakes. He's playing properly. Just saving his way into the top 11. Now at this point I should maybe try to make a call who's gonna take it. I'm gonna say Evon. I think Avon has been really consistent, looks fast enough as well, so I'm gonna say Avon. And we can start with Jaja, as I don't think I've spectated him yet. Gets the proper drift, that's a nice start by Jaja there. Goes tight there on the right, which is exactly what you want. Survives the CP, disaster. And Booney had to respawn there, I believe, so he's completely out of this one. Let's see, right now Solo just a bit further behind the pack, but still has more than enough time to make up for it, as Mika is dropping down rapidly. So now Mika in the same position as the previous round. Exxon with a really weird line over the tube, but manages to survive. Mika gets a lot of airtime, so he's not really gonna have that much speed, but then does that wall ride a bit better than Exxon, so it's all gonna be in the end. And this time around nobody makes the mistake in the tube. So Mika ends in 10th. Top 9 right now, and this is gonna be the last round with 2 knockouts. Let's go with ice for this one. Even though there's no ice on the map, he's doing really well. He gets the start, or at least it doesn't make a big mistake. But then clips on the inside there. That is really unfortunate, and at this point in time, plus 0.8 just might be too much. So let's see if ice can pull it off. It's still 0.8, so he's not really making up any sort of ground here. Goes for a bit of a different line, and it doesn't really work out as he drops down just slightly more. Nobody up front is making any sort of mistake. So other than him, it's Connie Fox who is in danger of going out right now, but then Exxon with a different line there in the wall right. Looks like it might work out. Oh, Solo just makes a complete mess of the tube. So Ice gains one position, but it's just not enough to stay in. So we have our top 7 now. Yeah, let's go with Hugo. I think he's the only person I haven't spectated in the start yet. So obviously right now, even the smallest mistake, like the one that Ice made, can just end your whole Cup of the Day experience. Gotta be really close and really precise. Gotta stay close to the pack. So it's Exxon and Connie Fox a bit behind. Looks like this one might be between them. They do seem to be kind of the slowest players who are still left in. So they might require a mistake from the top 5 here. And once again we see different lines, but Exxon should have enough just to stay in yet again. Keeps his streak of a yellow or orange still going. So Connie Fox ends in 7th. Five more rounds to go. Let's go with Loudest. Loudest has also been doing really well. Like, not just by staying in, because obviously all the players have done that, but he's also been really fast. He's one of the players I see in the top in every single round. So yeah, I would say it's likely gonna be between him and Avon. Exxon there completely misses the entry of the turn. So as long as these 5 can just save their way into the finish. I mean, we've seen mistakes happen in the tube, so this isn't the easiest map to save. But again, this shouldn't be too difficult. Oh, Loudest with a massive mistake, but luckily his car doesn't completely flip. And he's able to stabilize and end in 5th. So Loudest there nearly goes out, but manages to avoid disaster and keeps himself alive. So top 5, let's see who is gonna take this. Will we see a full round with nobody making any sort of mistake? Let's see if all 5 players can drive a low 49. Now all of them go for very similar lines there. So you can clearly see that those lines are the superior ones. Avon is still in last. Like, trying to overtake Worker there. Different lines in the tube. Think Avon's is just slightly faster. He also wiggles on dirt, so that is going to help him a lot as Worker drops down to last. Avon almost crashes on the inside, but saves it somehow, and it's Worker who's going out. So yeah, that was really a really tight round. All 5 players are really close to each other. Like, we gotta consider this is a mixed map. The players haven't had much time to learn it. And being less than 0.5 apart, like first from last, is a pretty close round, I think, in these circumstances. So the top 4 is gonna be Evon, Jaja, Loudest, and Hugo. Hugo there with a different approach. We see the drifting is faster, and Loudest is completely dead. Like, I think he just touched on the inside there. And decided to immediately DNF. I mean, he might have gotten disconnected, I'm not sure. To me, it looks like he just touched on the inside and then baby raged. So Hugo makes a complete mess of that ending, but of course it doesn't matter. That was a free round. So we have Evon, Jaja, and Hugo. So my pick is still in. Let's see, I think out of these 3, only Hugo was really close to going out that one time. In the round where Legu and Riolo crashed near the end. Other than that, he's also been quite solid over the course of the whole cup. Right now, really close round between all 3. Hugo with such a low jump, that is gonna help him a lot. So Evon is the one right now who is in danger, and Evon gets a really bad transition, clips. And the next tube after the jump loses all of his speed. So right now, unless someone gets stuck in this tube, Jaja makes it. So Evan goes out, and we're gonna have a French duel in the final round. Hey, look at him, nice slowdown. He clipped the freaking tube. And we caught it on camera. So Hugo versus Jaja. We know they take different approaches there. Hugo with a no drift, and it's round about the same. Hugo is lagging a bit, which is unfortunate, so we are switching to Jaja, as they're both really close to this point. So Jaja with a more inside line, Hugo goes outside. But they both managed to keep around the same amount of speed. Jaja has an advantage because of his superior line. Now let's see, nobody pulls an Evon there. Hugo is gaining so much in that tube, so Jaja will need to go for a lower jump there. Different approaches yet again. Hugo just might have more speed. Hugo does have more speed, so it's all in the ending, and Hugo takes it. So a better wall right there from Hugo. He just had a better approach, carried more speed, and didn't let it slip in the final tube. So congratulations to Hugo for winning this one.